special guest joining us on Republic TV this afternoon, Mr. K. Sivan, one of India's most celebrated scientists, the chairman of ISRO, Space Research Organization. Mr. Sivan, good afternoon. Can you hear me, sir?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm hearing you very well.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sivan. A pleasure to have you on Republic TV this afternoon. And it's coming at a very interesting time, very, very interesting times, Mr. Sivan. You've spoken about India opening up the space sector. This is perhaps your first interview on India opening up its space sector to private players. First of all, I'd like to get your thoughts on that, Mr. Sivan.
Yes, basically this the space activities, especially this applications of space-based system now has been increasing exponentially. And also that is as India move towards that Digital India initiative as suggested by our Honorable PM, we are moving towards that. These space-based applications are going to explode. So as of now, with these requirements cannot be met by that ISRO alone. And if you wanted to make ISRO to do the job, then ISRO should explode. So instead of that one, it was the advice or the approach is to make use of the private people who are willing to do the space activities and get the benefit of that the space-based application for the country at the same time, because that more number of people are youngsters who are going to be involved across the country. And I'm sure that with this initiative that it is the first step towards making India a technologically global powerhouse.
Absolutely, Dr. Sivan. You know, this is something that has been in the works. Many scientists have been talking about it in the past, Dr. Sivan, and you, of course, know about it, opening up our space sector to private players and the kind of potential that India has. You want to talk about India's potential and how big this move is going to be. Dr. Sivan, nobody knows it better than you.
Definitely, it's an excellent move. The reason I am telling is, and if you are looking for the type of the space activities which involve that making a rocket, making a satellite, launching them, and providing the space-based service to the public, everything is done by the ISRO. As I said earlier, the space-based applications requirements are going to increase as we originally envisaged. And if you are seeing that this right now that only 17,000 people from the ISRO alone is working for that. But if you are making it open to the public for carrying out the space activities, that includes the public or the private, the industries. They can build rocket, they can build satellite, they can own the satellite. Also, they can provide the services to the nation on commercial basis. And if you are allowing that this one, it is not only 17,000 people, the entire country. I'm sure that there are many countries that industries are interested to carry out the job. The entire country is going to contribute for the space activity. So in that way, I'm sure that India will become the space power at one day. So that is this is going to make a first step towards that one. That is my opinion, sir.
Yeah. Dr. Sivan, there are 2 points that I'd like to ask you to tell our viewers about. Now, 2 aspects of it. One is space policy, which you have spoken about in great detail, India's space policy, which is, and the second part is the space activities bill. One is the space policy and the space activities bill, and you have told media, you've been quoted as saying that both are in the final stages, which is a great sign because India has opened up the space sector. One of the big steps towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about both these aspects? One is the space policy and the second is the space activities bill and what they will entail. Dr. Sivan.
See, that is, if you are looking at at present, that we have that SATCOM policy, and we have the remote sensing data policy. And these 2 policies need to be amended or to be changed for enabling the private the players to carry out the job without difficulties. So this the SATCOM policy and remote sensing policy also is going to be amended or be changed. At the same time, that we need a new policy like the navigation policy. That also now we have to bring in. And along with these three policies will be enabling that this one, and the space policy also is required to be that to enable the private players. At the same time, these are not sufficient. That it is essential to work on that the Space Act bill. This also is required. All these things will be definitely will be enabling that the private players to carry out a job without difficulty. And this the preparation of this act, the modifications and preparation of this one, it is going on, and I'm sure that very soon we'll get it cleared by government so that it will be easy for the private people to carry out the job.
Dr. Sivan, on the space policy and the space activities bill, of course, they both are in the works. Hopefully, in the near future, we should see that materialize on the floor of the parliament, especially. I want to ask you, Dr. Sivan, what sort of interests are you seeing from global players after the announcement of India opening up the space sector? Are you seeing renewed interest, more interest in other countries coming to ISRO and saying that we want to be a part of your space program? Have you seen that sort of an interest coming forth? What is the feedback that you're getting, Mr. Sivan, Dr. Sivan?
And till now, we have not got any that feedback on this aspect. And right now, that whatever this our aim or our plan is to open up the space sector for the Indian investors. And whatever you are telling, that we may have to discuss and that in detail and come to the conclusion. I'm sure that there will be that the people will be ready to come and do the job, and we have to wait and see and how to make it happen. That we need to address this issue very carefully.
Yeah,
This one.
absolutely. When you say you're open for the private sector, Dr. Sivan, it's very exciting times, isn't it? Because, the entire country and Republic TV has been your biggest supporter when it comes to the big projects. You talk about Chandrayaan 2, you talk about all the big projects, the big launches. We've been at the forefront supporting you. And when you talk about opening up for the private sector, which includes building rockets, private sector can build rockets, can help build satellites, can use launch services, can use planetary exploration, can use the ISRO infrastructure for also outer space travel. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the future projects that you have in mind? What does opening up for the private sector bring to the table for India's space program?
Yes, sir. That is, this is the two aspects. Yeah. One is that enabling that private sector to carry out the space activity, that is one part. And the second part is that you are rightly touched. See, that is that ISRO is going to concentrate or going to do the advanced technologies and advanced missions and national missions and the space science missions. Like when I am telling the national missions means like Gaganyaan. When I am talking about space science missions means that they're going to interplanetary missions like Aditya or Mars orbital mission or mission to Venus. These type of things are advanced technology that the missions, whatever we are talking. At the same time, to make it to happen, that we need very powerful rocket motor and the development of high lift rocket that also is required to be done. In all these things, is not only allowing that private players to carry out the, enabling them to carry out the space activities. We want to have one more thing. We wanted them to involve in the high-end technology development also. So ISRO is going to make an announcement of opportunities for the industries to develop high-end technologies. And this they can contribute for the interplanetary missions. They can contribute for the Gaganyaan mission. In fact, already this announcement of opportunity was made for developing the technologies required for Gaganyaan mission. This also we have already announced. So like this, for all our future missions, And these private people are now going to be involved in the advanced technology development also, and we'll be very happy to collaborate with them. And if that the technology is very useful, and we will make use of that, and that will fly in our missions. So private people have multiple that options, multiple requirement. One is they can carry out that space activities on their own to meet that national demand or to make the business commercially. Second one, they also can involve in the development of advanced technologies. Even if they wanted to have an interplanetary mission, and we are ready to accept that proposal. So they are going to have a very good future for that the people who are interested to carry out the space activities.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Dr. Sivan, if one speaks of Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India, I don't think in today's times there can be a bigger example than ISRO itself, a self-reliant space program that the entire world looks up to and respects. And I want to ask you on that front, on that front, what are the exciting projects that you have lined up, Dr. Sivan?
Yes, that is the self-reliance is that is a motto of that our ISRO, and we have developed so many technologies. See, we have developed the technologies related to launch vehicle, technology related to launch vehicle, high power engine, that is cryogenics engine, and also there is that high throughput satellite we have developed. Like that, we have developed the high-end technologies in the launch vehicle, satellite, as well as applications. And similarly, we are going to continue this development like a semi-cryogenics engine, and also that clean propellant engine. And we are going to work on that the recoverable and reusable launch vehicle, which our concept is slightly different from who others are doing for reducing the cost of launching.
Yeah.
At the same time that we are going to have that very, very advanced satellite missions. Also, that is that we are targeting on that very, very low cost that to the outer planets and space science. So definitely that we have host of that technologies that are development in the self-reliance mode in all these things that we are on the job, and we are working on that, sir.
It's a pleasure speaking to you, Dr. Sivan. Really our pleasure and our privilege to have you on Republic TV. And we'd like to wish you all the very best, and the entire team at ISRO for all the exciting projects that are coming up. Wish you all the best, and look forward to speaking to you once again in a more detailed interview. Dr. Sivan, thank you for speaking to Republic TV this afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sivan.